So I'm here with Pelle Tornberg to talk about this former CEO of Metro, the largest newspaper in the world.
I guess it is.
To hear about the model for not just free newspapers, but newspapers in general, but specifically with free newspapers. Is it a sustainable model? Isn't it based on producing as cheap a product as possible? So as soon as I produce my successful free newspaper, somebody's going to come in and try and do it for less money, and then I'm going to have to cut my price. You're sort of a race to the bottom?
Yeah, one could think that's the case, but I think, quite honestly, that to launch a newspaper 5 years ago might be seen as a hobby. You could do it at relatively low cost, but launch a newspaper today is a very costly exercise. And you've seen a lot of free newspapers actually lately gone bust, because it's too expensive. And the ones that started a long time ago, like the Metros, and where you have a number one or number two position, is newspapers that are still growing in this market. There's very few newspapers you could find in the world, paid for at least, that is growing. It's the other way around. So I think they're there to stay, absolutely.
But once I have one that's successful, isn't somebody just going to come in and undercut me?
Yeah, could be, but who is going to do that? Who could afford to do that today?
Okay, let's flip this question. Why did it take so long for free newspapers to exist? Shouldn't they have existed the day the Paris Metro, or whatever the first metro in the world, opened?
Absolutely, but the paid-for newspaper had not a big interest in launching free newspapers because they would be a threat to themselves. That would be the cannibalization case. So of course they had no interest, and other players really didn't want to enter into the newspaper industry because it's been seen as a dead industry. So the ones that were there to compete were very few.
So Metro came into this zone just where other people sort of weren't daring to go.
Exactly.
What do you see for the future of newspapers in general, not just the free ones?
I'm positive. More people than ever are reading a paper, whether it's the Kellogg's package or whether it's a morning paper or whatever it is. But they do read newspapers, so that will continue. The business model must change, and it might be that a paid-for newspaper that have exclusive content must make themselves even more expensive and live with a smaller circulation. It's like paid TV versus free TV. And free TV and the free newspapers are becoming the Monday to Friday edition, and the paid-for newspapers are like the magazines and the weekends products, etc.
So you'd have a relatively cheap weekday edition, maybe even giving it away, and then charge money.
Correct.
3 times the price, 5 times the price
exactly.
on the weekends.
Yeah, and it's probably not you that are going to pay for it, but it's the company you're working for.
A sponsored sort of way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there is a future for newspapers.
Absolutely.
Good news.
Good news.
Okay. Thank you.